Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's going on, everybody? Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. You can call us at 844-551-8255. Love hearing from you. What's going on, Marvin? Huh? Do-do-do-do. Mother, mother. Yeah, what's going on, huh? We need to be threading that song through right now. There are too many of you crying. There are. You know, there's so much going on. It is a 24-hour news cycle. Brother, brother, brother. There is, isn't it? I mean, and that's not the worst of it. There's far too many of you dying. Boy, ain't that the truth. It's remembering what to keep one's eye on. Seriously. Right? All my boys are like, hey, I didn't sound too bad, did I? I can sing some Marvin. Yeah, I know. See, y'all over there going, and I'm hoarse. I've been hoarse for a month. I had a caller. She told me, she says, Kevin, make sure you don't have lung cancer. She's right. You got to get checked out for everything, man. You never know. Something's going to take me out. Could be lung cancer. I don't smoke, but my grandfather used to smoke. So, I mean, I'm talking about big time in the car. So you never know. I got to get checked out. 24-hour news cycle keeps me popping. In fact, yesterday, I forgot to talk about the Emmys. We'll talk about it today, but we forgot. I mean, there's so much going on. You don't know what to monitor. We try to remember the monitor stuff, but the minute you start monitoring, then boom, a hurricane will hit. Then boom, some cop kills a black dude. Wow, shocker there, right? And I'm not talking about it in defending black dudes. I'm talking about a copper killed a black dude. We commit a lot of crimes. I'm talking about black folks. I happen to be black if you listen to the program and you haven't figured that out. I mean, Yeah. So we don't play that up too much on the radio because it doesn't matter. It's not about black and white and all these other things. It's not about male and female. This country gives you everything you want. Everything you're willing to work for, you can have in this country. I'm going to play a clip from Floyd Mayweather. He was in the news. He's a pro-Trump guy. Floyd Mayweather is like, shoot, man, anybody that could take $1 million and make it into $10 billion, I want to know what he's doing. Floyd talks about how he makes money. And you know what he said? Very simple. Same thing I tell people all the time when they call me, go, Kevin, we got a cause, we got this. I go, look, let me explain something to you. In 2012, when Barack Obama got reelected, I made a conscious decision that said, I will not follow anybody else. You either work with me or go do your thing. That's like Floyd Mayweather interrupting training to say, oh, you want to be trained? Yeah, I'll come over and train you. No, he trained every day at what his mission was, and it made him a success. Now, I'm not talking about whether you like him as a person and all these other things. I'm talking about the metaphor. He focused on self. You want to know how you can be a big deal? Focus on self. Now, what did Floyd do? He got people around him interested in what he was about. Now, some of these people were hangers on, and he talks about it in his clip. People come in and out of your life. But the core group of people who made this young man what he is today have been around him his whole life. And it begins with, anybody want to help me here? Come on now, I'm preaching. It begins with his father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who, by the way, isn't a stellar dude. Floyd Jr. watched his dad whoop women. That's the way we say it in the vernacular. He would beat wives and all that. His uncle, I forget his name, but he was a world champion too. Both of them been to prison, his father and his uncle, but they were around him to mold him, not always in a good way. But in terms of boxing, they taught him singular focus. And he also learned from the mistakes of his daddy and his uncle. And he didn't repeat some of them, and some of them he did. But his kids will learn, and they won't repeat others. And maybe at some point, we'll have a group of Mayweathers that, maybe they'll be a royal family. Who knows? But Floyd Mayweather knows how to look for what's the good. He talks about, I was in a room, 20 feet by 20 feet, 7 people deep. That's how he grew up. He knew poverty, and he wanted no part of it. And this is with a daddy who was making money, but blowing it. A guy who started out as a street fighter. My dad was the same way. My dad and my uncle, identical. Amazing street fighters. My dad would have to fight 4 people. My uncle told me, he says, nephew, your dad was a hell of a fighter. He had to fight 4 people one night when he was going to perform to open for not the OJs, but somebody else. My dad was a performer. Anyway, enough about my history. I just want to talk about how busy we are, folks, and how it's easy to take your eye off the ball. I'm busier than a one-eyed cat watching 2 mouse holes. That's what my grandfather would say. Yeah. So much going on. Colbert. We got St. Louis happening. We got I don't know if you guys know, there was a shooting at campus. Georgia Tech. Georgia Institute of Technology, but they call it Georgia Tech. Got a new hurricane forming. Got racists all over the country. Well, we found a racist. I don't know if this is like a special racist, but we got him to talk about. Trump. And I have a question about religion, but maybe we'll save that because that's a Friday discussion. Anyway, look, folks, here's what I'm talking about. When we put our heads together as conservatives, and I'm making a pitch here for TeaPartyCommunity.com, when we focus on something, we accomplish a lot. You know what we focused on over the past 9 years, give or take? We focused on changing the regime of politics. It wasn't about Republicans. It wasn't about Democrats. It was about crooked politicians. It was about people who scheme to get to your money, who scheme to get to your rights. They wanted you to conform. And we decided, you know what? We're going to focus on this. And we formed this Tea Party. And had it not been for that, I promise you, politics as you know it today would be dramatically different. But now it's time for something else. It's time to evolve it. Yeah, should there be rallies? Have a rally if it makes you feel good. If you need to go to Tony Robbins to feel, vindicated, like, I'll go be somebody, then there's a reason he exists. But I don't need him. I don't need anybody to tell me how egregious the government's been towards us. I don't need anybody to tell me that the government is taxing us into oblivion and they don't give a crap. They don't care about us. I don't need anybody to tell me how the government uses people, uses black people, uses Latinos, uses women, uses Muslims. It uses everything for its own benefit. And even when that government implodes on itself, you know who benefits? The elite. It doesn't matter what goes on in the world, the elite benefit. And that's the way they've structured it. And it's time we change it. So anyway, we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to begin with a tweet of Donald Trump because this tweet is so important in the lexicon of politics.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville. Can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanYourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.